Ladies and gentlemen, it's another impromptu live stream by your boy Pranav. And I haven't announced this anywhere. It's I haven't announced it on any of my socials. So the ones who are already here are the only ones who know about this. And I thought I should do streams like these for you because you guys are the true fans. You've turned notifications on and whatnot. So I really appreciate that. And I thought I should do streams like these and I should let you guys come on if you want to. And you can talk to me personally for however long you want. Since I've not announced this anywhere, I don't expect a lot of people to come see me, but I can see there are already quite a few people. So I don't know how this is gonna go. Again, this is just me trying stuff out. Now that I have a platform where I can go live at just a moment's notice, I've done like a 5 minute announcement 5 minutes beforehand. I've not announced this anywhere in my social media, so I won't have random people coming in. It's just you guys. So I'm gonna put an invitation out. I'm gonna place it on the chat and I'm gonna pin it. And you guys can come on and talk to me about anything, literally anything. You can ask me questions about any of my videos, any personal questions, things that are reasonable that I feel I can talk about publicly. And yeah, that's about it, I guess. Just come on in. I'm gonna pin this. Give me a second. Where's the pin option? Hey, what kind of pin this message, man? Oh, I'm signed in from a different account. I'm signed in from my main account, which is Science is Dope. So I'm gonna uh, do this from my Pranav Radhakrishnan account. How do I do this? Okay, give me a sec. Give me a tiny sec. Um, I'm gonna. You know what? I think I can do this right here. Can I not do this right here? Yep. And I can. Oh, I can't pin this because. What the fuck? Okay, guys. Please don't mind the fact that I'm sort of a noob at this, so I don't go live very often. So give me a second, boys. Give me a second. So whatever delay I caused personally, I'm gonna make up for by extending the stream. Oh, I appreciate the all of you that are watching. Ah, yes, finally. Yep. Give me a second. I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna, yeah, that's a link. I'm gonna pin the message and I'm gonna come back here. And yes, I hope you guys have gotten the message. And we have our first caller who is Abir. Welcome, Abir. Am I saying that right?
Hello.
I hope I'm saying that right.
Hello.
Hey, man. Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah,
Yep. Tell me
I'm seeing you.
what's up.
Hello. It's lagging.
Hey, man. Yeah, I
Yeah,
can
yeah.
hear you.
Now it's okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
So, hi Pranav. How are you?
Mm. Yeah, I'm good, man. How are you?
I am good. So, I
Great.
live in Bangladesh. I am an Bangladeshi ex-Hindu. I watch your videos.
Okay.
They are
Okay.
very scientific and they're very dope. So, I
Thanks, man.
wanted to
Thanks.
thank you about that. And my question is that, what are your thoughts about the Indo-Aryan invasion theory? Aryan invasion theory. Is it true? Is it false?
Unfortunately, unfortunately, I'm not very well educated on the topic, so I'll tell you what I do understand. Although, again, I'm not. very educated on the topic, so take my opinion on uh, with the pinch of salt. I will tell you what I do understand. So there are two competing theories. One is that uh, the people that are in India were in India originally and migrated outwards, and the other theory is that the people of North India mainly migrated inwards from Europe. Those are the two opposing theories,
Yes,
and the second one is the invasion theory, right? So
yes.
as far as I know, the evidence currently points towards people migrating into India. Again, I should read up a lot more about this before I speak out a lot, speak out confidently. But this is what I do understand, and yeah, that's all I can say right now.
Yeah. So I would just want to ask another thing. What are your thoughts on Buddhism and Buddhist practice in the Theravada Buddhism or Mahayana Buddhism?
You were asking what are the thoughts on Buddhism?
Yes, something like that.
So, my thoughts are it's just another religion. There are a lot of rationalities in Buddhism as well. But out of
Yes.
all the religions that I have seen, the rationality of all the religions that I have seen, Buddhism seems the least problematic. That's what I would say. But in general, ideologies like those are always bad, even if they're not religion. uh, Even political ideologies are bad, non-religious ideologies. But yeah, that's those are my thoughts.
Yeah. Thank you for your time. And can
Thanks,
I
man.
contact you on a Discord?
Yeah, join my Discord. I think there's a link right below this stream in the description. You can just join there.
Yes. Thank you.
Thanks, man. Thanks for having. It
Thank
was
you.
great
Bye.
having you here. Yep, I'll take on the next caller after this, guys. By the way, if there are no more callers, I will answer the questions in the chat. Yeah? How about that? Oh, and by the way, I should make an announcement. I should have said this right at the start of the stream. Uh, my channel, my this channel is finally monetized. You can see a super chat button right here. So go ahead and test it out. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. But yeah, the channel is finally monetized, and I can. This is hopefully will act as a secondary source of income for me, and I really need income, people. I'm investing a lot in my main channel, but here hopefully things will be a little more chill. I don't have a lot of pressure on me to to get that ad revenue. So yeah. And we have Tanmay SG. Yes, what's up, Tanmay?
Hello, hello.
Hey,
Am I
man.
audible?
Hey. Little feeble. You're not very loud. Can you increase your mic volume, maybe?
Bro, that's everything I've got, I guess.
Uh, Maybe move closer to the mic.
Now,
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Yeah, man.
I actually don't have any topic to talk about. Just here to say thanks to you, man. Like,
Thank you.
you are the person who I actually look up to, and you've taught me to think rationally.
That's all I want to hear from. That's always what I want to hear from anyone who says, who gives me appreciation, dude. If I can change the way people, if I can influence the way people think for the better, that's like literally what I want. The reason why I started doing this. So I appreciate that, man. Thank you.
Yeah, honestly, even I have actually learned a lot from your channel.
Mm, thanks, man.
Yeah,
What's your
that's
favorite video?
the Catholic Church one which you did recently.
Oh, the recent one. Yeah, that
Yes.
was that was I invested a lot in that one, man. But
I
Yeah.
could definitely see it, bro.
Yeah. Yeah. Thanks,
Okay,
man.
that's
Thanks.
that's
Uh,
everything I had to say.
thanks. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, Tanmay. Viewers like you make my day. Thanks, man. Yeah.
Happy to hear that, bro.
Yep. See you. I'll bring on the next caller if there's anything else.
Yeah, nothing. Yeah, bye.
Thanks, man. Bye. I'll call Battler is on. Hey, man, Battler. I've seen you in
Hey,
Remo
hi, can
stream, I
we?
think.
Yeah, I used to come there regularly, but I mean,
Yeah.
life gets
You're
in
a
the way,
regular.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to,
Yeah.
but life gets
Tell
in
me.
the way, and I have to sort of focus on some things in my life. Actually,
Yeah.
just want to personally thank you, congratulate you on all the work you're doing. I don't know if
Thanks,
you read
man.
some of my comments, but I hope that they're not too, annoying because I do. I mean, at least reading them back, I sometimes feel I might be annoying some people, but don't take too hard on that. Not that you pay attention to it; they
Mhm.
probably just get lost only. So I
Uh,
actually called him.
uh,
Yeah.
yeah, and unfortunately, I don't get to read as many comments lately
Yeah.
as I did when I had like a few thousand subs.
No
But yeah, I
issues.
do read a lot of comments as often as I can.
No
So
issues.
definitely, if your concern is that you're annoying me, that is definitely not the case. Keep those
Yeah.
comments coming, man, because every
No, no,
time
they're suffering from success actually.
that was joke. That was joke.
Yeah.
But
But actually,
there
I
is
want to
no.
ask one very important question about your channel. A very serious question. The most
Yeah, yeah.
serious question I'll ever be asked. Okay.
Ask me.
You know
Ask me.
that Praveen Mohan video that you did a long, long time back when he called out his pseudoscience, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
How much is the like dislike ratio right now? Because that's literally been keeping me up at night. Because I mean,
Mm.
I mean, you must have access to it, right? Because last time I
Yeah, yeah.
checked, it was. I mean, I
I
think
think.
that they really like badly dislike bombed it, and I still,
Yeah, yeah.
get people dragging me into conversations on the basis of stuff that I written over there. So like crazy,
Yeah.
even more than yeah. What's the like dislike ratio? Do you have any idea?
Yeah, I do. So back when the like dislike was still available on YouTube, that ratio was still there. It was some 20%, 20, 25, around that number. But now it's around 50%. And the reason for this is a lot of people who search Praveen Mohan find my video very often. So Praveen Mohan fans find
Uh-huh.
my video and come watch it, see that it's against Praveen Mohan, and they just end up disliking it, even though I make
Yeah.
perfect rational sense in that video.
No, no, it's not
Um,
about that, man. It's just good fun, yeah.
yeah,
I mean, I
it's
that's
around
because it's
50% now.
50, so 50% like, 50% dislike.
Hmm.
That's
Hmm.
good because the last time I saw it, I think it was around 30-70 or 40-50. So
Oh,
good. But
yeah.
actually, yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. I mean, you have been in NIT Calicut, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
So, I actually want to know because a lot of, I mean, I don't go to his videos anymore, but the few like videos that I did see now, I was really surprised at how, I mean, like so eager like people are to just believe this stuff, man. And I mean, I can understand believing someone like Sadhguru, believing someone like Shishi Ravi Shankar, but
Mm.
to me at least, Mr. Mohan is obviously faking it. I
Mm.
really don't think that he even believes half the stuff he says. So,
Yeah.
I mean, like, what's the reason behind this level of insecurity from
So,
like relatively educated people? Because all the
mm,
people who come there are educated and have a good education.
mm.
So
so
what are your thoughts on this?
my thoughts are that a lot of people will listen to what someone is saying, and whether or
Hmm.
not they actually make sense, or what they're saying reflects reality, or they're saying the truth. Irrespective of all that, they will look at whether it benefits them, whether it makes their own ego satisfied, or it's against them, and that's the basis on which they support the video. So Praveen
Yeah,
Mohan is going to all these temples and saying all these all these things, like, this temple was
yeah,
made
yeah, yeah.
using technology that we don't have. So the people who genuinely support that ideology, when they hear their egos being satisfied, even if those are a bunch of lies, because what they think is being supported, they will support him, And that's most of the supporters of Praveen Mohan I've seen. And YouTube is doing a decent job of not letting him get a platform publicly, because YouTube, as you might already know, they suppress a lot of conspiracy theories, things like anti-vax,
Okay.
flat earth, all these things. And they've
So he's
rightly
counted
clubbed.
among that now.
What's that?
Oh, so is he counted among that now? Because
Yeah,
last I checked,
he
he's
is
got a
he is
million
he
subs or
is
something.
he is a proper conspiracy theorist. He is in that circle
Yeah,
of people. The Ancient Aliens documentary. So
yeah, yeah,
he's
yeah,
in that circle of people, conspiracy theorists behind that show. So in fact, he in that video, in my video on Praveen Mohan, I've shown that. There is a collaboration between the guy
yeah.
who's the main guy from Ancient Aliens and Praveen Mohan. He is a proper conspiracy theorist, man. There's a video I've seen on his channel that talks about how Hindus believe the earth to be flat, so it must be right,
No,
and
no, no. I
things
mean,
like that.
yeah.
So yeah.
And then actually, it's not about him, but more about like, I mean, where does this deep insecurity come from? Because it's not
Mhm.
all supporters of a particular ideology who believe this stuff. Some of them do kind of see it as kind of it is very cringe and say that yeah, this guy is just bullshitting. But
Mhm.
I mean, see, and it's not just with him. He's just one type of the same problem where a
Mhm.
lot of people really really love to glorify themselves or feel great about their ancestors achieved this much, so we can like be happy and all that. That's what I'm
Mhm.
trying to ask, because I mean I don't really, I mean look here, you
I,
have like
I think
conspiracy
the
theorists will just keep on coming and going.
I think the insecurity comes from the fact that in the past they've been dominated. They feel they've been dominated by cultures
Hmm.
from outside, and those cultures are the ones that get glory now. They want some glory to themselves. So this
Hmm.
insecurity is the reason why, whenever they hear anything that makes them feel good inside, they will support it like anything. And
Okay.
they have numbers. There are so many people that will think the same way they do. So when you have
Hmm.
numbers and when you have people like these promoting these
Hmm.
ideas, yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
a
yeah. But
recipe
that's the
for
problem in India
disaster.
now. Even like 1% of people support something, I think it's around 10 million people. So easily you can
Yeah,
easily like run multiple channels on the basis of that. Yeah, and
yeah.
one more question I'd like to ask
Mm,
is,
mm,
see, I mean, we've all been through our Indian education system, and
mhm,
I'm now, I'm like continuing my education. I'm, in a relatively good college, but one thing
mm,
that I've struggled with both while getting into this particular college through these competitive exams and even, continuing my courses now is to get out of this algorithmic thinking. So I
mm,
think you know what I mean. So if I have to just paraphrase it, it's like, see, when we were kids, we see a sum, right? So like you tell about a field and you'd ask you to calculate the area or the perimeter. So you'd be drilled into saying, oh, see, this area is, you have to use this formula, then you have to use this, then you have to use that. So that also carried over to my engineering days as well, where I'd always try to do pattern recognition. Oh,
mm,
this sum requires this formula. So you know what I'm trying to say is algorithmic thinking, right?
mm,
So how do you get out of this and really sort of embrace, this conceptual thinking where you focus more on concepts
mm,
rather than, algorithms? Because even if I
mm,
try, I still end up defaulting to that itself. You have any
mm.
idea of what I can try to get out of this kind of
I
thinking and
think
uh,
Yeah, I think the first thing you have to do is probably be aware. When you recognize
mm,
that you are thinking in these sorts of algorithms, you will naturally
mm,
try and seek out, ways in which you can correct that. Maybe you will seek out content where people expose you to ideas which make sense, and I think that is easily the number one way in which you can
mm,
get out of this sort of thinking. I remember
mm,
I myself had that sort of an uh, exposure, uh, probably about 10 years ago, when I got exposed to thoughts like these that made me really think about the ideas and thoughts that I used to hold. And I think similar things when they happen to all people, I mean anyone, I think that's probably the number one thing. If I should probably think about this a lot more before giving you a more elaborate answer, but yeah, I'll think about this.
But just no, I think one minute, maybe there's a bit of confusion here. I'm talking about with respect to approaching, these scientific or engineering concepts. Like, I mean,
Hmm.
so let's say if I want to approach a concept of, I what kind of engineering did you do? Maybe I can try related to that because it's related to studying to
Mhm.
understanding things,
Mhm.
particularly on my scientific perspective. Because from a sociological perspective, I think I can at least see through a lot of bullshit. I can see where my cultural upbringing and where my human biases are coming in the way, and I have to sort of rectify that. That I somehow had to learn how to do on my own properly. But I can whatever I learn. But
Mm.
see, whenever I try to approach a book and a particular concept, all right, like
Mm.
understanding an ideology, understanding an issue or something, I just cannot replicate it towards my science. Like if I want to learn about mathematics, for instance, like if I want to really properly get into um, the study of probability, really understand random processes, really understand random variables, there's just something that's lacking there. I'm still defaulting
Mhm.
to very basic methods that don't really help me understand. You get what I'm trying to say, or should I try to be more clear?
I think I get it. So you're asking how do you make sense of concepts instead of learning it in a very textbookish manner? How do you
Yeah,
make sense of? Yeah, that's what you're asking, right? So
yeah.
I would say, do you are you aware of the Feynman technique of
Um,
learning? So
no,
he
I've
says
heard of
if you
payments integration, not
if
payments technique.
if you learn things in a way, so when as you learn things, try to think of what you how you would explain that same concept to a newbie, someone who is being introduced to the topic. How do you explain it to them? Because when you try to put it in those words or those terms, you will understand where you're lacking understanding, where your own introspection is where your own thoughts are not very clear. And when you recognize that, you will try to uh, target that specifically, and I think that will help you make the concept clearer. So
Okay,
this is
okay,
one thing that comes to my head, but read up on this. I think you'll get a better
okay,
idea if you search this yourself. It's called the Feynman technique. uh,
okay. I'll
and
check it out.
yeah,
Yeah,
cool,
thanks.
battler. I
Yeah,
will have to take another call
yeah, no
now.
issues, no issues.
Yeah,
Thank you for your time.
thanks, man. Bye. Pavan, you are on stream. What's up, Pavan?
Dude, I'm a big fan. I've been
Thanks,
following
man.
you forever, forever. Like I've been following
I
like
really
people's like
appreciate that.
cosmic skeptics and all those people. But I have always had this itch like, why aren't there any Indian YouTubers who will focus on Indian aspects? And dude, you are the perfect clock man. It's like I don't know. I'm
Thanks,
like
man. I
losing words
appreciate
right
that.
now. I have
Thanks,
some
man.
questions for you
Yeah.
because I don't want to waste much time like gushing over your
Can I
work.
just respond to what you said so far? Uh,
Yeah,
I'll,
tell me.
I'll, you can ask the question after that. So,
Sure.
I myself had that same thought. Why are there no Indian YouTubers talking about what these people are talking about? I
Exactly.
really find that interesting, and I thought to myself, if there's no one else doing it, why don't I do it? And that's sort of the line of thinking
Yeah.
that got me to what I'm doing now. So yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, man.
yeah.
What's your
I have
question?
three questions. Okay, and it's like on
Yeah,
a different levels. First
yeah,
is like a personal question. It's like
yeah.
you've been taking on some really big names, right? Like Sadhguru and whatnot. All these people are juggernauts. They have
Mhm.
power in real life. Are you ever scared about their influence on your life? Like because these people
Um,
are like powerful,
yeah.
right?
So, well, if you ask me that, I have to be rational and
Yeah,
uh, do what is sensible, which is not reveal where my location is.
yeah,
All I've said publicly is that I live in this city. I've not said specifically where I live in the city or my exact location. Nobody knows
Yes,
except
yes.
my close friends and
Yeah.
relatives. So in that sense, am I scared? Rationally, there is a possibility that I could be attacked. So, uh, but again, another thing is that I don't really provoke, do I? At least my latest videos, they're as I try to go
As
out of my way to not actively
offend people,
provoke.
yeah.
I do end
Yeah.
up provoking, but still
Yeah.
I try
And we
not to
can't do much
actively.
about it. They are
Yeah.
meant to be up. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
within reasonable limits, yes,
Mm.
I try to keep myself safe. That
Yeah.
answers your question.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's first question. My second or third question is like, okay, right now in India, right,
Mhm.
there is no social support for atheists. Okay, there are like, it's a secular country. I really appreciate it, but I do feel
Mhm.
like there is a severe lack of support for atheists in terms of like a
Mhm.
social legislation. Imagine if I get married, if I get daughter or son, I want
Mhm.
to prize them as an atheist, but I don't think so. The socially, the government is like equipped enough to let us take that choice. How do you think about it?
Mhm. Uh, I've so as far as I'm concerned, I currently don't have any problems whether I can socially declare myself or like any sort of government recognition
Mhm.
of the fact that I'm an atheist. And because I don't have any difficulty with that, I've not really bothered to, officially get myself certified as an atheist. So I've never really looked into that. And if that's what I like, you would have to probably ask yourself how badly do you need that. uh, you told me that you want your children to not be recognized by their religion, and
Means
that's
like
a
at least,
problem. Yeah, that's a
at,
problem
I know.
I haven't thought about I haven't really thought about. And to be perfectly honest, I don't uh, atheism isn't really my primary thing. It's
Yeah,
more of
I get
science.
your point.
Atheism is something I'm genuinely interested in,
Okay.
and I talk about. This is one thing that I will give more thought to. So come back to
Yeah,
me. I'll do another stream like this
yeah,
soon.
and
We can.
yeah.
Yeah, I'll think about this. We can talk about that
Yeah,
then.
last question. I'm not going to take much time.
Yeah.
It's like a much more personal question.
Yeah.
It's like I come from a it's like at least I come from a privileged society. Okay, I
Mm,
am well. It's like I'm comfortable. I have money, and my parents support me, and I do take care of myself. I
mm,
think it's most of my privilege is what led me to explore new ideas and be more risk taking in terms of ideologies. I think my privilege is an important aspect of me being an atheist. People who are
mm,
less privileged doesn't have the
mm,
how do you say, the freedom to think for themselves. It's like, I know it
mm.
may sound snobbish, but what do you think? Is it because of the privileged people are like going towards
Yeah.
atheism, or like people who does not have privilege has no cannot have even think about that life at all? It's like, what do you
I
think?
don't think we can say privilege is what makes people go towards atheism, but
Okay.
plays a pretty huge role in people becoming atheistic. I think my privilege, I was privileged as well growing up.
Mhm.
And I think I had privilege in the sense I got access to a lot of thoughts that helped me
Exactly.
think in this manner. And uh, and even what I'm saying, right? What
Mm.
I'm saying doesn't reach people, only reaches people that have the the kind of privilege that gives them access to YouTube and these thoughts
Yes.
and or
Yes.
whatever. But what
Yeah.
I'm hoping is that my words might only reach them, but they can reach the people who are less
Exactly.
privileged. Maybe they have
Exactly.
someone who's a close friend or a family member, or
Yeah.
maybe someone they know really well, who
Yeah.
who might not have the same access to YouTube that they do. And probably the thoughts that I convey to them are arguments or lines of thought thinking that they can use,
Mm.
that they can convey to these people. That's roughly what I've thought about this. But
Yeah.
yeah, again, privilege and access is an issue.
Yeah.
Yep. Mm.
Yeah, man. I'm really happy to talk with you, man. Hopefully, we'll do it later again. Yeah, you should
Yeah,
take other
man,
people's
for sure.
questions as well. I think so. They're waiting for you. Yeah.
For
See you.
sure. See you, man. Bye.
See you. Yeah. Bye.
um, there's a person called Heisenberg in the studio room, whose devices don't seem to be connected. So I can't add them to the stream. I'll add the next person. Arun, Arun, you're on screen.
Yeah,
What's up, man?
pretty big fan. Can't believe this is happening, but hey.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that.
So the question I wanted to ask you, I'll just get right to it.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of I don't when critiquing the education system, a point that I don't see people bring up
Hmm.
as often is
Hmm.
that a lot of the questions that were asked, besides in a subject like math, pretty
Hmm.
much every other subject focuses on reproducing information rather than testing your critical thinking.
Hmm.
You think in that in any way influences our ability to come to conclusions about the world, sort of driving us towards conspiracy theories, flat earthers, and I don't know, water memory.
I think it definitely plays a role. So I've said this, and probably I've not said this on my channel, but I've said this in many live streams and podcasts that I've been on. Um, the problem with the education system is that people are way too focused on uh, just scoring marks in their subject, that they don't really care about what that subject is saying. They only care about, hey, what is it that I need to that I need to learn by heart, that I can write my exam paper, that can give me the marks, which will get me that job, that will earn me money. So when you have this sort of thinking, you don't look at what you're learning from a perspective of, hey, these things are interesting. What uh, what what I've learned here tells me that the world should be like this. When you start thinking along those lines, thinking in that manner, that definitely helps your critical thinking. And that is definitely something that is lacking in our education system. I think it has a lot to do with our culture. Our culture is very
I can definitely feel what you're saying because
mm,
whenever we learn gravitation in school, I was always told that stupid apple story. And a
mm,
lot of the experimentation that Newton did before
mm,
coming to conclusions about gravity is often omitted
mm,
in favor of more
mm,
like memorization based learning, and I think it's kind of problematic that we don't
mm.
know how scientists come to conclusions,
Exactly.
because then
Yeah.
we start to think of science as some kind of religion.
Mm. So that's the thing. So there are a lot of people who think that science is, hey, a set of things, just like my religion says a set of things. Science just says this, and religion just says this. They don't. They just see it as a bunch of, hey, that's your opinion. This is an opinion. That's an opinion from there. This is an opinion from here. When you have problems like that, what people should recognize is that there is evidence for some of the things, and evidence is always a reflection of reality. So you just have to look at where evidence lies. And when you think in terms of evidence, I think that will lead you down the path of science, rationality, all these things. Religion has, I mean, things that religion teaches you, they don't really have evidence. Most, I would say almost all of them. So, to answer your earlier question, I think the education system uh, definitely needs to teach you how the scientific method that I try and talk about in a lot of my videos is something that you need to learn in school. I never learned it. I only learned it when I was in my 20s and I was watching stuff on YouTube. I was reading of stuff on the internet. So I try to make sure that what I couldn't learn in school, I try and convey that in my channel. And yeah, I think yeah, I hope I've answered your question. I ranted a bit, but yeah, that's what I
Yeah,
think
yeah,
about.
yeah, definitely. Yeah. I
Uh,
think I'll go now. I'll
yeah,
let you
man.
move on to the
I've a
next
bunch
caller.
of callers. Yeah, I'll. Thanks, man. I'll remove
Okay.
you.
Bye bye.
Bye, man. I'll call on Apu. Apu,
Hi,
you're on screen. Hey, man. You had your
hi.
camera on, I think, a while back. You don't have to turn it on. You can just
Okay.
talk to me with this. Yeah. What's up,
You
man?
can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
Oh, one second. I should also mention that the stream will only go until 10 p.m. So I'm only going to take a few more callers. Anyone who's still on after 10 p.m., there's no point. I'm just saying right now so that
Uh,
you don't waste your time. Yeah, Po, go on. Go on.
okay. You know what? I think uh, the belief in mythology that mythology is a history. I think it's quite about that person's insecurity because that person has since his childhood has woke up and worshipped those whatever gods
Mm,
and then went to school and then he learned those stuff and even in moral schools I still remember one of my uh, school the literature in moral stories they were based on god like how god is watching all it's basically blended into our education system and when he goes
mm,
back he watches youtube he scrolls on reels and it's a whole ecosystem today now the whole
mm,
establishment is trying to make you more go back into time if I can say that. Okay,
mm,
so when
mm,
that person is being bombarded with so much information, so
mm,
someone says that it is mythology, that's it, it's a
mm.
myth. So that actually strikes their ego a lot,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, you're right.
Uh,
Yeah, it does.
and and I really appreciate what you are doing because I would have not said this 10 years ago if you are doing this exact same thing because today
Mm,
it's not about the people it's a whole establishment that's against people like you know and
mm,
I have one suggestion for you that is don't be funny like seriously do not
mm.
be funny because
Yeah.
uh, people will make a small clip out of you and make you viral. It doesn't take a lot of time these days. And with the witch
Mm,
hunting that government is doing with its power of law and basically judiciary is a sham today. So even if you are right, if you're funny and if you make them get their butts hurt, so it's going to be a problem.
mm. So you're saying that if you be funny, there's a chance that it could be misconstrued as being condescending, and they might not like that.
Yeah,
That's what
absolutely,
you're saying.
absolutely. Yeah,
Yeah, I've thought
absolutely.
about this. I've thought about this a lot, and I try and make it a point these days. In my old videos, I hadn't thought about this, but in my defense, back then I had what 300, 500,000 subs. Now it's not like that. I have a lot more visibility, so I try and make sure that whenever I do say something funny, have some humor in the videos, I try and make sure it's not directed at my at whatever I'm talking about, at the subject of topic of the video. Say if I'm making a video on beer biceps, I have not. You can go back and check that video now. I've not made a video on the in anywhere. I've not made a joke, and that video has a lot of humor in it, by the way. But none of the humor is directed at the person. It's directed at the ideas that he's propelling. So I
Yeah,
try and make my humor, whatever humor is there, directed at the topic that I'm talking about. And another issue here is that, see, if I be completely serious and talk about whatever I am talking about,
Yes,
the issue is sometimes that ends up affecting the retention of the video. And as a YouTuber, I have to try and also make the video interesting. I'm I have a dilemma of, hey, can I make this joke? I have to make this joke to make this part of the video interesting, but making this joke might be misconstrued in the wrong way. So I have to
yes.
strike a balance between the two. But yeah, I hear what you're saying. Yeah.
Also, today I read about a law. I actually study law. So,
Mm.
in one of the Indian law, there's a law called Hindu Adoption Act. It governs how Hindus adopt children. So, one of the criteria to not consider a parent's permission to give a child in adoption is that if that particular parent has renounced the world, quote unquote, renounced the world. So
Mm.
I think even the state wants to cares about whether you have renounced the world, whatever the fuck that means. That the state cares whether you have renounced the world. So think about it.
Mm.
A learned judge, a learned bunch of judges sitting there and checking whether this circus is actually
Yeah.
considered, it should be considered as renunciation of the world. So I think the whole law needs to be, in fact, the meaning of the secularism needs to be corrected, that state and religion should be kept far away. And in fact, there should be no Hindu adoption act. Just adoption act is enough. Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's what I want to tell. I think I should
Yeah.
let others speak. Thank you.
Yeah, man. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot for. I think what you said makes a lot of sense. So, things like that have to happen from the top, because those a lot of people, maybe you and me, might be exposed to ideas like whatever we are discussing right now. But to a lot of people, all they see is what's happening at the top, what the government and what the judiciary is saying and doing. So when they see them doing things like these, yeah, for sure, they will see some legitimacy, some validity in all these ideas. So yeah, things
Al-
have to
al-
change over there.
Also, one thing that I recently read that in March
Actually,
this
man,
year.
Apu, listen, I have to bring on someone else, because
Okay, sure,
especially because I'm ending the stream. Why don't
sure,
you
sure.
join on another stream?
Yeah,
Thanks,
sure.
man.
Thank you.
Yeah, bye. Ashutosh, you are on screen. By the way,
Hi,
I'm
friend.
only going to. I'm only one second, Ashutosh. I'm
Mhm.
only going to take on one more caller. Srini is there in the chat. Everyone else, I'm not going to take you on, man. I don't think I can make the stream that long. So yeah, Ashutosh, go ahead.
Pranav, actually, I needed a bit more of time from you so that we can discuss about something, but I do not think the conversation will be completed within time.
So,
Okay, so do you
join
want to
me on
continue, or
another stream. No worries, man.
when are we having such sessions next time? Can you please tell that?
I so these kinds of streams, I just
Mhm.
do it very impromptu. I just feel like going live and I do it. But
Okay.
next time I do make an announcement, you can just keep an eye out on my channel or
Yes.
on my main channel. I will
Hmm.
mention it there. I
Last
don't
time I
have
was
any
here,
plans right now.
you were with Vimo. Okay,
Yeah.
and because of some reasons, I couldn't didn't get a chance to discuss about that thing with you. But I do not
Mhm.
think that we can have the discussion in such a limited amount of time. So I think
Okay. No worries.
I
No
should
worries. We'll
Shri
talk
should
next
continue.
time.
We will talk later. Okay.
Thanks for coming on, man. Bye. Hey man, Srini, you are on screen. Hey man, what's up?
Hey
I think
Pranav.
I've seen you before. Have I?
No, no, I'm a big fan. I'm joining for first time. I'm
Thanks,
following you
man.
from like when you
Appreciate
have
it.
1K subscribers. You did live with a lot of
You're an
people. And
old subscriber. That's
yeah, yeah,
awesome. You would remember what videos did I have back then? I
a
think
lot
you
of
would have seen
videos.
the astrology video and all.
Yeah, yeah, astrology
That's
and
yeah,
Sadhguru.
that's
I hate him as
Sadhguru,
well.
yeah.
So yeah, but nice meeting you. And I'm following Vivo as well right now. So
Nice,
which is
nice.
quite.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
I
I've
think,
traveled to a lot
yeah.
of places and seen a lot of met a lot of people.
Mm,
Basically, the thing which makes atheism or disbelief and belief in scientific rather than in faith or some disbelief supernational is you when you get free of education and your basic needs free
mhm,
without having to
mm,
rob or without having to do any other stuff. If you're
mm,
getting all your basic needs free by just paying taxes and good enough money,
mm,
that's the best way I feel like you can eliminate this all these
mm,
cultures. And because I've seen in
mm,
Sweden, Finland, and a lot of European countries.
mm.
But
Where are you right now, if you don't mind me
yeah, I'm
asking?
in
Because
UK
I
as
see
of now.
daylight. I
Yeah,
can
I'm
see
in yeah.
daylight.
Yes,
Where
I'm
are
in
you?
UK.
UK. Okay.
Yeah, I'm in
Nice.
London. When you want to visit anytime, let me know. I can arrange you
For sure,
everything.
man. For
Yeah,
sure. I will. I don't know when, but I have made some acquaintances in the UK, some
yeah,
YouTubers and stuff. So you might see me there.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Let's just keep a post
Where
in
are you in
Insta.
the
Or
UK? If you
London.
don't mind me asking.
Yeah,
Huh?
in London.
London.
So hope you would come and we can have and
Yeah,
we can
man.
meet
For
and
sure.
chill out.
For sure.
But I have one more argument. I'm talking with
Okay.
a few of
Yeah.
one of my. I'm talking with my girlfriend, and it was like one of an argument. Like she
Mm-hmm.
believes in mythology, but not in God, and she thinks like
Mm-hmm.
mythology is history. You have to take good things and gives an example of Ram Setu. The bridge was built in
Mm-hmm.
real, and I've been there. I've seen those stones. If you throw in water, they just float. So how will you counter that and make them believe that
I
okay,
I
that is not?
think I think you have to argue with the person by asking, hey, what do you think is more rational? That this is a geological formation that just happened to have these rocks in it. Again, I don't know every single fact there.
Yeah, yeah,
I
neither,
don't, yeah,
neither
I
me.
don't.
So
So you have to ask yourself, ask them, hey, what's more rational? This is probably a geological rock formation and things they naturally occurred over there, or there was the oceans or the water in the oceans rose to a point where you only have those that tiny sliver of rocks left. Maybe there was a land bridge connecting the two land masses. uh, is that more rational? Is that more likely? Or do
no,
you think that someone came and threw stones in the water and they floated
yeah,
and formed a bridge? What's more
because
likely? What do you
the
think
thing
is more likely to have happened? Yeah.
I've seen a lot of YouTube videos where they throw stones in water and try to prove that this is right and make people believe
Mm.
everything is right what's written
I,
in mythology. Taking few
I,
examples.
exactly, exactly. That's the issue. So there is a fallacy there, one too many fallacy. So they show one example of
Yeah,
something being a certain way, and you, and that's not a legitimate way of showing probably, but they use that one example to extend the idea to many to everything.
yeah, everything, to
So
literally
yeah,
everything. That's it. But
yeah, man.
yeah, nice talking to you.
It was
Maybe
nice
someone will
talking to
get
you too.
chance.
Yeah, that's the end of the stream, guys.
Yeah,
I will see. Uh, Goodbye, Srini, and
goodbye.
goodbye, stream. Bye, guys.